Castillo de San Marcos was for many years the northernmost outpost of Spain's vast New World Empire. It is the oldest masonry fort and the best preserved example of a Spanish colonial fortification in the continental United States. The roots of the Castillo's history reach back to the years just after Christopher Columbus's final transatlantic voyage, when conquistadors carved out a vast and wealthy overseas empire for Spain, thanks to the travels of Ponce de Leon in 1513. Spanish navigators knew that the best return route from Spain's rich Caribbean possessions was along the Gulf Stream and past the shores of Florida. The Spanish knew they must defend this peninsula to prevent enemies from using its harbors as havens from which to raid the passing treasure fleets. At the orders of King Philip II, Don Pedro Mendez arrived at the mouth of the St. Johns River in September 1565. Mendez sailed to a harbor further south and established St. Augustine as a base for operations. England became Spain's next contender for Florida, and it was during this time that the current Castillo was built. Begun in 1672 and completed by 1695, the Castillo replaced 9 successive wooden fortifications that had protected St. Augustine since its founding. In 1763, as an outcome of the 7 Years' War, Spain ceded Florida to Great Britain in return for La Habana, Cuba. The Treaty of Paris of 1783, which ended the war, returned Florida to Spain. Spain held Florida until 1821, when serious Spanish-American tensions led to its secession to the United States. The Americans then renamed the Castillo Fort Marion and used it to house prisoners during the Seminole War of 1835. It was last used during the Spanish-American War as a military prison. It was in 1933 when Fort Marion was transferred from the War Department to the National Park Service, and in 1942 the original name was restored to the Fort that of Castillo de San Marcos. And now join me for a short tour around the fort, and you can see what I saw when I visited. Alright, we're entering the Castillo de San Marcos in St. Augustine, Florida. The Spanish fort. Just across the drawbridge. Part of the fort, the waterway over there. Let's go in this little room here first. Oh, this is the King's Coffer, the treasure room. Pretty cool. Nice and cool. My goodness. It's amazing how the stones keep it really so cool. I mean, we didn't have air conditioning, or there wasn't air conditioning when this was built, and yet it is really very, very nice. I mean, you step in here and it feels like 5-10 degrees cooler than it is outside, which is amazing. So, really cool. Walking into a deeper area because I gotta take my sunglasses off. Weapons. Oh yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Ignacio Daza. He helped select the site for the area because of its natural defenses. It's his design. Pretty cool. Todd doesn't want to crawl through the powder room.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's...
He doesn't think it was worth it.
The options, it's like... I'm trying to figure out how far it goes.
I think it just goes right in there.
I don't know if I can squat through.
Hang on. I know what we can do. It doesn't go very far. We just take a peek inside. But yeah, nothing much. Just a low-hanging room. No, it's just a room. This fort has been under control of the Spanish, the British, and then finally, Americans. And so this would have been a casement. It's in a small area.
people would have lived. There's bunk beds, kind of like a barracks of today in the military. But this looks like it would have been much more crowded. Yeah, very warm. But it's cool. Cool to see. It's fun to step back in time and just see what things look like. It's just so cool. Take a little video, just walk around the fort here. Some different weapons back over there. See, if you get up over here, you can see part of like an inner wall and then a secondary wall. Hopefully you can see that, which is pretty cool. And then standing here, if you look back the other way, you can look down into the fort. So, pretty cool. Let's see what else we can see. It looks like there's some cannons, old cannons over here. Been tarnished, starting to turn green, kind of like the Statue of Liberty would turn. Or has turned. It's like a mortar one, I think. I don't know. I actually have no idea. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab this cool little map that tells me about the different ordinances, and we'll check it out. We'll figure out what all of those are for. But look at all these. I mean, I don't know if you can see it. I'll get some pictures here. But the logos, not logos, we call them logos now, but the intricate markings on these, you know, whose they were, which is really cool. Porthole you can kind of look into. Get a view of the bridge over there. And then out to the water. This might be like a good lookout point or shooting point. If you get in, there's 3 little holes. Coquina that was actually gotten from just a little ways down the coast, Anastasia Beach. You can see the shells in here. These are shells that would have been in here for, you know, who knows. I think it's been covered over. You can see some concrete here. It's probably been covered over at one point. But, oh my. Just all these shells in there. So cool. So cool. A great fort. Those you come in at. And, of course, I think it's the Spanish flag. I don't remember exactly what flag it is. But a quick overview of the fort. Awesome. Ugh. Love to see these historical places. I know some people just come because it's, you know, cool, whatever, but I love the history. Just feel like you step back in time and see what things were like years and years ago. So there's modern St. Augustine, and then, you know, you just look back this way, and you know, if you can kind of ignore the clothes people are wearing and what they've got on, it just looks like you've stepped back in time to a different era, a different time. So yeah, pretty cool.